What is up, everybody? LTA Sportscast here. Name's Trey,
I'm Logan.
and our verse for today is going to be Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. And you guys haven't seen us in a little bit. Christmas time. I also caught the flu for like a week, and that sucked. So we couldn't really do any recording for a little while there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we took a little holiday break there, guys. But we're back, and we're gonna have an extra episode out for you guys this week, and maybe a special short that we're gonna do.
Yeah. So it's playoff time in the NFL. And wild card weekend is rapidly approaching. Starts in 2 days. So the seeding currently, as we are speaking, after the regular season now being over, over in the NFC, we got Seattle at the 1 seed, Chicago at the 2 seed, Philadelphia at the 3 seed, Carolina at the 4 seed, Los Angeles Rams at the 5 seed, San Francisco at the 6 seed, and Green Bay at the 7th seed. And over in the AFC, we have Denver at the 1 seed, New England at the 2 seed, Jacksonville at the 3 seed, Pittsburgh at the 4 seed, Houston at the 5 seed, Buffalo as the 6 seed, and to round out the AFC, we got the Los Angeles Chargers in the 7th seed. Kind of a slight detour here just to kind of talk about kind of crazy to think about that LA just won the World Series, and now they have 2 teams going into the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, it could literally be LA versus LA in the Super Bowl. After winning 2 World Series in a row, I mean, the luxury
and
in
winning
LA,
a Super Bowl in 2021.
Yeah, the luxury in LA is just insane. Like, just stop, please. I don't want to
Money.
LA again. Just like float off into the ocean already, bro. Like,
Real. And then we did want to get into kind of like our own personal power rankings, kind of just what teams we see as more fit than others, and ones that we think will have a better chance at the Super Bowl. So me personally, I got Seattle winning it all. A couple weeks ago, if you asked me, I would have said it was the Rams. And we did say it was the Rams.
yes, we did.
The Rams looked like the more complete team a little bit ago, but Seattle now. Sam Darnold's still like a question mark, but overall the team is playing some of the best football we have seen in a while. At my 2, I got New England. New England has been surprising. Drake May has been elite. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the MVP this season in just his sophomore season. The whole team's shown up. You can say they had a baby schedule all you want, but there's a difference between scooting by bad teams and absolutely blowing them out of the water by 20-plus points every single time. They also beat Buffalo. They also beat Tampa at the first half of the season, Tampa. So, the good edition of Tampa in Tampa Bay, and they beat Buffalo in Buffalo. Sure, they lost at home against Buffalo, but it was still a competitive game. So to say that New England doesn't have a chance, I think that they have a better chance than Buffalo this year. 3, I have Jacksonville. Again, another very surprising team. Nobody really thought much of Jacksonville. Their defense really just decided to lock it in at a point in the season and kind of just started playing lights out. Trevor Lawrence is coming into his own, as we've kind of expected him to do before. He has never really been like this, amazing quarterback, but he's starting to really come into his own with this new era here in Jacksonville, and he's got receivers and running back, a solid O-line. Like, Jacksonville is the real deal. Next, I have Buffalo. I think Buffalo's still... this is Buffalo's last season to make the Super Bowl. If they don't make the Super Bowl this year, Josh Allen and the Bills are not going. There's no Joe Burrow. There's no Patrick Mahomes. All the obstacles that had been in his way previously are gone. No Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Like, there is literally, he has the most clear-cut path to make it to the Super Bowl this year, and they have to capitalize on that. Next, I have Denver. Denver has so many question marks, and it really just all comes down to the offense. They don't really have a true wide receiver one. You could say Cortland Sutton, you could say Marvin Mims, but I really think of both of them as wide receiver twos. Cortland Sutton's definitely like good, but this offense is just so inconsistent, and they've beat good teams. They barely do it, and they barely beat bad teams. So it's so hard to tell if they're actually going to like be more competitive than the teams above them. I don't trust it, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't at all. Next, I got the Rams. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, you asked me, Rams were going to be sitting at my number one. For a while, they were at my number one. I was like, Rams are going to win it all, no problem. And now they lost to Carolina, lost to Seattle, I think they lost to San Francisco too. Like, they were just losing a bunch of games that they should not have been losing. And the Seattle game was great, though, I will say. That was a good game by both sides. But the Rams went from clear-cut number one to I don't know if they can beat Seattle again. I don't know if they can beat San Francisco again. Like, that's just the kind of trajectory the Rams have taken. It's kind of sad to see. I mean, Matthew Stafford still had an amazing season. It's between him and Drake May who's going to win the MVP this year. I wouldn't be surprised if either of them wins it. I think New England has a little bit more. Drake May has more of a case just because New England's sitting at the 2 seed, and I feel like that's going to be more eye-popping to whoever makes the voting system. Next, I have Houston. Houston's like a worse version of Denver. Their defense is lights out. Their offense has so many question marks. C.J. Stroud's had an odd season. Their O-line is absolutely atrocious. Their wide receiver core is okay. They don't really have a true running back one. Like, it's such an odd team, and it's in such a weird spot. Like, I have no clue if, like, what they're going to do. It's the same thing, like, just between Denver and Houston. It's like, they're like the same team, essentially. One just has 2 more wins. Next, I have San Francisco. I think San Francisco's been a sleeper team this year, too. They have a lot of injuries. That's for sure, but I feel like that's just a San Francisco thing. But they have shown up in the games that they have needed to this season and shown up when it matters, and that is why they are currently sitting at the 6th seed in the playoffs. They're 12-5. If they win their last game, I think it was the game against Seattle. If they win that game against Seattle, they win the conference. So, like, that's the kind of place that San Francisco was in a couple weeks ago, and just kind of crazy to think about. Like, we kind of wrote San Francisco off because Debo was gone, Ayuk was hurt, just injuries, and they still keep finding ways to win games, and it's impressive. And I really think that San Francisco does have a case to go to the Super Bowl this year. It's just the NFC is really strong right now, and they're going to have to go through some tough teams. Next, team that is Chicago. Chicago, again, another surprising team. The NFC has had a lot of teams that you did not expect to be here, especially Chicago. They get Ben Johnson, and the offense completely flips from what it was last season. They are much more fluid. Caleb Williams is looking so much more poised in the pocket. He's making the throws that we expected him to make last year. He's playing like we expected him to play last year. And it really came down to building self-confidence and having a coach that can help you build that confidence in Ben Johnson. I mean, what he did with the Lions last season, he's doing with the Bears this year. The defense is very solid. They got a good receiving core. They got good tight ends. They got solid running backs. The O-line is great. Like, their offense is pretty damn good. The biggest question mark on their offense is Caleb Williams, because you still see flashes of what we saw last season. He's not perfect by any means. He makes mistakes. Everybody does, but some of the mistakes that he makes cost them games, and it really seems like he's not 100% there in maturity. But I do think that talent-wise, he is there. It's just a matter of maturing up just a little bit, and that team goes from sitting as like the ninth best team, my ninth best team, to winning a Super Bowl, to a possibly a top 5 team winning the Super Bowl, or even winning the conference, which they were at the top at one point. Next, I got 10th best team to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, is the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know what's going on over there. They're a good team. I hate them, but they're a good team. Like, there's no denying that they're a good team. But, like, their offensive coordinator is so bad. Like, just so horrible. And everybody says Jalen Hurts is this generational quarterback that can do this, that, and the other. I haven't seen it this year. You know what else I haven't seen this year? Saquon Barkley. He had a 2,000-yard season last season, and I don't even know if he's hit 1,000. If he hit 1,000 this year.
I got no clue.
Like, that's just the kind of, like, flip that we've seen from Philly. And you could say it's a Super Bowl hangover, but I wouldn't really say that. I say something happened. Something happened there, and something went wrong. And I know on the offensive side of the ball, that offensive coordinator is just killing them. And I'm going to be honest. I think Nick Sirianni has something to do with it, too. He's not like some terrible, coach, but he does make questionable decisions from time to time that definitely hurts Philadelphia. Now, they are in the playoffs, obviously. They're sitting at the 3 seed, and, they've won games like they've needed to this season, but it's still just, like, kind of interesting to see the flip from last season for Philadelphia. At my 11th spot for 11th best team, I got the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers are going to make it. They just have wide receiver room's a big question mark. Running back room's a big question mark. Health is a really big issue. The O-line is a lot worse than it was to begin the year. Some of their star guys have gone down. Defensively, they were really like lights out to start the season, and then they kind of had a slight collapse, and injuries just taking place, and I really just don't see them going, to be honest with you. They're a good team. They can be competitive, but I don't think they're getting past New England in the first round. My 12th team is Pittsburgh. I also don't think they're going to make it. They're old. Aaron Rodgers isn't what he used to be. He's still good. Their wide receiver core is questionable. Offensive line is questionable. Running back room is questionable. Defense is solid. But, overall, this team's just it's not it. They're not going to make it. Number 13, I got Carolina. I don't know what happened. Felt like they just kind of had a collapse there at the end of the season. Now, granted, they weren't some amazing team to begin with, but they had some wins. They had some really good wins, and they had some really bad losses throughout the season. It's been a real big up and down season for them. They go in and they win to beat Green Bay, and then they lose to the Saints. They lost both games against the Saints this season. But they beat the Rams and the Packers. It's just, what's going on over there? Bryce Young is coming into his own. I think the team has a bright future, but this year is not the year. They're going to get bounced by the Rams in the first round. And then, lastly for me, I got Green Bay. They're just missing a lot of key guys. I don't see them really doing anything. Started off the year strong. Micah Parsons goes down. Jordan Love goes down. It's just kind of, this team's done for this season. The season's over for them. So I think they just got to look towards next season. I think Carolina is a slightly better team than Green Bay is in their current form. I think Carolina beats Green Bay again if they play each other right now. Green Bay just doesn't have all their weapons that they need to beat a team like Carolina, who can really just just become some crazy good team. That is my power rankings, my reasonings. We'll go ahead.
Alrighty, everybody. To start off my power rankings, at my number 1, I have Seattle. Kind of the same thing Trey said. I mean, they just look really strong. The only question mark that I have for Seattle is Sam Darnold. Are we going to see Sam Darnold show up in the playoffs this year? I don't know. I mean, not a lot of people had Minnesota last year getting bounced in the first round, but they did. Why? Because Sam Darnold didn't show up in the playoffs. Same thing could happen this year. Except this year, Seattle has a much better defense. And they suffocated San Francisco in that last game of the season for the division and the 1 seed in the NFC. So they're just very well-rounded. The Rams are also, but Seattle has more talent, in my opinion. And my number 2, I got Jacksonville. I really like the way that they've been playing. They're going on a hot streak. They've been playing really well. And, that's basically it. They look good enough to go in there and beat teams that, I think they can. Yeah. So, number 3, I got New England. New England, I was kind of stuck in between 2 and 3, New England, Jacksonville. The only reason I decided to go with New England 3 is because Drake May hasn't been in the playoffs before. That doesn't mean he can't perform in the playoffs. It's just a question mark. There is that question mark. New England is a young team, which isn't a bad thing at all. It just means, what can we expect? You know what I mean? Number 4, I got Denver. Denver just has too many question marks for me to put them higher. Even though they are the 1 seed in the AFC, that does not mean that they are a lock. Because they just can't seem to be consistent. So that's why I put them down at the 4. I got the Rams at 5. Again, a few weeks ago, just like Trey, they would have been at the 1. They were playing much better football a few weeks ago, and these past few weeks just have not been great for the Rams, and they've not looked like the Rams of the earlier season. And momentum means a lot going into the playoffs. Number 6, I got Buffalo. Josh Allen, I think, does have a really good chance at going to the Super Bowl in the AFC. They have the number 1 run offense in the league, but they are going up against Jacksonville, who has the number 1 run defense in the league. So we're just going to have to see how that plays out. That's going to be a really good game. And Buffalo, if Josh Allen can do his thing, Josh Allen magic, I can 100% see them going to the Super Bowl. I can even see them winning it all. But we just haven't seen what we have in previous years from Josh Allen this year. And I would love to put them higher. I really like Josh Allen and Buffalo's chances, but to me, they're kind of just a middle-of-the-pack team here with all the other talent in the AFC. Number 7, I got San Francisco. They have a really good team when they're firing on all cylinders, right? But they haven't been firing on all cylinders recently. That's why they're so low. Brock Purdy, he's been here, he's done that, went to the Super Bowl. Maybe there's that bad taste in his mouth that he just wants to get back, and maybe he just has an MVP caliber postseason, which I know postseason has nothing to do with MVP voting. But it's very possible. Anything can happen in the playoffs. The defense looks good, but kind of the same thing with Buffalo. They just we haven't really seen it this year consistently. So I put them middle of the pack again. Same thing with Buffalo. Number 8, I got Houston. And their only reason that they are number 8 is because of their defense. If their defense hadn't played the way that they did this year, A, they probably wouldn't be on this list at all. And B, if they were, they would definitely be in between 10 and 14. The offense is not isn't great, you know. But I do think I think Houston can use their defense to get through the playoffs, at least the first round, maybe two. At number 9, I got the LA Chargers. I have them down here because I just don't like. I don't like the inconsistencies you see from Justin Herbert, the team in general. I really don't think that they're going anywhere. I think they get bumped by New England in the first round. Number 10, I got Chicago. The Bears, kind of the same thing as San Francisco. You don't see a very consistent offense with them, and Caleb Williams, can he do it? He's not been here in the playoffs before. We'll see. I think Chicago does have a good chance of beating Green Bay, especially with Green Bay having all of the injuries that Green Bay has. I don't really think that they go much further than that unless something crazy happens in some of the other rounds. At number 11, I have Philadelphia. The whole team is a question mark. What are we going to get from Philly? We have seen them in years prior in the playoffs get done what they need to get done. Jalen Hurts being a clutch quarterback in the playoffs. But they also had Saquon Barkley last year. And they do this year too, but it's not the Saquon Barkley who's getting MVP votes. That's not the same guy that they have. Number 12, I have Green Bay. Green Bay would be higher, but, they're just riddled with injuries. And Micah Parsons going down for the season is a huge blow to them. I don't see them making it past the first round. I think that between Chicago and Green Bay, that game is going to be a lot of offense. Whoever is going to win is going to win with offense, not defense. Number 13, I have Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh shouldn't even be in the playoffs, but Tyler Luton missed a field goal, as you probably know. And that's the reason why I have them so low. They shouldn't even be here, and they are lucky that they are. And that just is what it is, man. And I don't see them going anywhere. Number 14, I got Carolina. This is kind of an obvious number 14. They're 8-9. They're under 500 team in the playoffs, going up against LA, the Rams. But they beat them last time at home again. There's a chance, there really is, but when you consider everything and how the team is, how the team's been playing, and all the other teams, Carolina is definitely the bottom of the barrel. So that's my power rankings. Moving on to our wild card weekend predictions.
So, to start wild card weekend, we are going to have the Rams going into Carolina on Saturday at 4:30. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who's going to win this game. Because we saw Carolina do this already once at home. Now they're at home again. They have home field advantage. They've done this before. They've played against this team. This Los Angeles run defense was horrendous against Carolina. They were great with time of possession. The team locked in on fourth down when they needed to. Can Carolina do it again? Yes. I think they can. But I think that Los Angeles wins this one as a sort of revenge game kind of deal. Like, you shouldn't have won earlier this season. This is, we got to get you out of here. But I would not be surprised if Carolina is somehow able to pull off another close win.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. If Carolina wins, it's going to be a close game. I don't see them blowing them out at all. But it's very possible, man. Like, they've done it before. They did it just earlier this year at home, where they're going to be again. I would love to see Carolina win this game and just go deeper into the playoffs, because they do have that underdog label, and that's just, I think that would be a phenomenal story. So, yeah, I mean, LA probably going to come on top here, but it's a close one. I mean, Carolina is just, they can do it. They can get it done. I would not be surprised at all, and y'all shouldn't be either if they do.
My vote's the Rams. So our second game on our Saturday night slate, we got Green Bay going into Chicago at 8 o'clock. Chicago's winning this game. I got no doubt in my mind Chicago wins this game. Jordan Love and Micah Parsons are out. They're going to have to start Malik Willis.
Well, I think Jordan Love is going to be back, actually. He cleared concussion protocol. So
my thing is, I still think that Chicago wins this game.
I do too.
I think that without Micah Parsons wrecking the game and throwing Caleb Williams off his groove, he's going to have enough time in the pocket to get the ball out to where he needs to DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Colson Loveland, Luther Burden, all down. So I think Chicago wins this game. And I'm not going to say it like easily, but I do think I got more faith in Chicago beating Green Bay than I do Los Angeles beating Carolina, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got Chicago winning this game.
Yeah, like I said, I do have Chicago winning this game as well. Green Bay just isn't there with all the injuries. I don't think they're going to get it done here, and they're in Chicago. The only advantage that Green Bay has on Chicago is the experience. That's it. That's the only advantage they have. So I think Chicago wins. Caleb Williams probably shows up, and if he doesn't, I'm pretty sure the defense will. And I don't think Green Bay's offense will. Josh Jacobs will be back. Also, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think Chicago.
I don't think Jordan Love's going to be 100%, and I think he's going to get pressured a lot, and I think it's going to definitely, like, after being out for a little while, he's going to show some rust coming back.
For sure.
Sunday, we got 3 games. First game on Sunday, we got Buffalo going into Jacksonville. I want to take Jacksonville in this game, but I think this game is going to be the closest game, to be honest with you. I think both of these teams are contenders this year, actual contenders this year, not pretenders. But Buffalo's definitely going to be playing their hearts out because this is the year for them to make the Super Bowl. Jacksonville, they're a young team. They're feisty. They play hard. They do what they need to do. They get in, get out, and they got home field advantage. I low-key have Jacksonville winning this game. As much as I would love Buffalo to win this game, I don't know if they're going to be able to, A, stop the Jacksonville offense, and B, get the offense rolling against this Jacksonville defense. They rely heavy on James Cook, and that Jacksonville defense is suffocating on the run game. And if he's taken out of the game and have to rely on solely Josh Allen with no James Cook, help. I know Josh Allen's done it before, but this is a good team. This is a really good team, and I don't know if I trust him in this game 100%.
Yeah, I'm going to go Buffalo just because I do think that the offense could outplay Jacksonville's offense, and it could definitely go the other way as well. And I know I put Jacksonville above Buffalo in my rankings, but I think Josh Allen, I think we might see some of that magic, and if we don't, they're screwed. Because Jacksonville, I mean, that run defense is suffocating, and that's all they will have going for them if Josh Allen does not show up big. It is very, very possible that Jacksonville wins this game, especially when they're at home. But Buffalo, I mean, it's Josh Allen. It's Buffalo. They have the experience. They've been there. They've played in these tough games, and they have always made it close. Yeah, I mean, they lost most of them, but they've at least made it close, and it's almost never been Josh Allen's fault. So, I mean, we'll just have to see what happens. We'll see how the Bills' defense shows up, and I think that's what it's going to come down to, is how the Bills' defense shows up, because we know the Jacksonville defense is going to show up. Can Josh Allen get the ball into that secondary, Jacksonville secondary, which is not as good as their run defense, but it's not terrible. We're just going to have to see how that goes.
All right. And then the afternoon game, we got San Francisco going into Philadelphia. I got San Francisco winning this game. Philadelphia's just, I don't know what's going on the offensive side of the ball. I know the defense will show up, but I do think that San Francisco's offense is good enough to play against this Philadelphia defense, and I do think the San Francisco defense, if Philadelphia's offensive coordinator is doing the same stupidity that he's been doing this season continues, San Francisco's defense is good enough to shut it down. I think it will be a close game. I don't think it'll be a very high-scoring game, but I do think San Francisco is able to eke out a win here by maybe a field goal or a touchdown.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a close, low-scoring game, like you said. It's going to be a defensive game. Philly, you better hope that nobody on your defense gets hurt, because your backups got exposed against Washington in the last week of the season. So you better hope everybody stays healthy. That's your only chance. If somebody goes down, I think you're done. I think that San Francisco comes out on top as well. The offense, when they've clicked, and I do think that they definitely could. We didn't see that happen against Seattle, but it's Seattle. Seattle's defense is much better than Philly's defense.
I mean, we watched Brock Purdy throw 5 touchdowns against the Chicago defense that Philly lost to. That's why I think that the San Francisco defense can absolutely stop the Philly offense, and the San Francisco offense can score when they need to against this defense. If they're able to score 5 touchdowns through the air with just Brock Purdy, I think they can at least score a couple.
It's going to come down to a run game between CMC and Saquon Barkley. Which one of them is going to show up, and which one of Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy is going to show up. That's what this game is going to come down to. I do think both defenses are going to show up. So who's going to show up? Who's going to win more? I think it's San Francisco.
Right. And our last game on the Sunday slate is at 8 o'clock. We got the Los Angeles Chargers going into New England. I don't see the Chargers winning this game at all. This is a New England game through and through. The Chargers just have too many injuries. The wide receiver room's just bad. Running back room's mediocre. Offensive line's bad. Justin Herbert can't. He's good. Don't get me wrong. Justin Herbert's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but if you don't have time in the pocket, you can't really do much. He's pretty much dragged this team to the playoffs with just himself, pretty much. And the defense has question marks, a lot of injuries, older guys. So I really do think that New England comes out on top here.
Yeah, I think New England comes out on top also. I don't think it's even going to be close, guys. I mean, the only thing the Chargers have going for them is their defense. And if Drake May can pick them apart and that offense can pick them apart, then the Chargers don't have a chance. Like I said, we could be LA in the Super Bowl, which would be crazy after 2 back-to-back World Series with the LA Dodgers.
In the Super Bowl in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Right now, I don't think it's going to be possible after Sunday. New England comes out on top here. It's not even going to be close, I don't think. Chargers, maybe next year.
And then to round out Wild Card Weekend on Monday night at 8:15 Eastern, we have the Houston Texans going into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh gets curb stomped. Offense can't get anything going. The Houston defense just doesn't allow them to score. I think it is very possible we see a shutout from the Houston defense. I don't think Houston scores a lot. I think they maybe score 2 touchdowns and a field goal or 2, maybe 20 points. But I don't think this game's gonna. I don't think Pittsburgh has a chance in this game. They just don't have the offensive firepower to go up against this defense at all.
Yeah, Houston is going to come out on top. Is my prediction. Pittsburgh. How is Aaron Rodgers going to play? We don't know. I mean, we saw him have a phenomenal fourth quarter against the Ravens, but was the Ravens defense just tired? I don't know.
No, the Ravens defense is just dog piss.
They're also just bad, but Houston definitely comes out on top here for me. The Steelers are going to have to force turnovers if they want to have a chance at all, and I don't think that's going to happen. At least as much as they're going to need it to with Houston's defense. Now, anything can happen, but we're making our predictions, so don't get mad at us. These are just predictions, and this is what we think is going to have the best chance of happening in the 2026 playoffs in the wild card round. Now, we will be going out with a divisional round. Sorry, I'm thinking about baseball. Divisional round. We're going to be coming out with predictions for all that and stuff like that too. Like I said, we're going to be live as much as we possibly can here for these games, so make sure you guys check in on that. We're going to be live Twitch, one of Instagram or TikTok, and maybe on YouTube, depending on what we can do there.
I think that's going to wrap up this episode here. Let us know in the comments what you think.
What
If you have any, what you think about our rankings, what you would change, what you think about our predictions in the games, what you would change, anything that you think that we should have talked about. And we thank you guys for watching. This is LTA Sportscast signing off. Hope you all have a great weekend and enjoy the playoffs.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you later.